Hey guys, it is Jonah here, and I'm back with the last cider review that I'll be doing for a while. Um, Sorry you might be hearing some birds in the background, but it's summertime. And also because it's summertime, that's why I thought, do some cider. Now, I bought this at the local farm shop, literally just down the road. But I thought this was a reasonably local cider. It is Kentish Cider, so not too bad. But it is from this place up here. And if you can see or read that, Biddenden, £1 99p for a bottle of 8.4% cider. Come. It is a 33, so it is a quite a small bottle. You can get, I think you can get a litre bottle of this for a fiver if you go onto their website. And yeah, Bibendum is, yeah, I think it's predominantly a winery, a vineyard, shall we say, but they also grow apples, which is where this ridiculous cider comes from. And it's a pretty still cider. Right, let me see if I've done this for a while. Let's see if we can focus. Biddenden cider is made from a blend of dessert and culinary apples. So dessert and cookers in the Garden of England, which is in Kent. It is strong, still cider, best served chill as a delicious alternative to wine. We welcome visitors, and you can go to www.bibendumvineyard.com. Yeah, go on the website first to see that they're open, because I know they do harvest time and all sorts of weird stuff. But I picked this up in the Rose Farm Shop, which is my local farm shop, and for some unknown reason, I thought it was a lot nearer. This is probably about an hour's drive away. Whoop! And because it's been in the fridge, it's a bit wet, so my hands were slipping off. It's a still cider, so there might be one or two little bubbles of doom in there. Um, but yeah, it's got the address on this side. You can see that. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. Little Watmans near Ashford, Kent. That's not Ashford, Middlesex, which is London these days. It's Ashford, Kent. I believe it or not, I made that mistake once before because my one of my really good buddies, um, James B, from when I was in school. There were three Jims in the class, and yeah, one of them's died, as you know, and one of them I speak to sometimes, and the other one, yeah, he was involved in a car accident, but didn't die, but moved to a different school and all that kind of stuff. It was all a bit crazy, but yeah, he lived in Ashford, Middlesex, though. Right, you might be able to see, got my tasting glass here that I've been using, my Canterbury tasting glass. Got some ice in it because cider in the summertime, I believe, should have ice in it. I know sometimes I don't put ice in, but hey, as you know, if you've watched many of my videos, I am an enigma, and yeah, I don't always practice what I preach. But that is the human condition, unfortunately. So let me wipe off the dew, the John dew, and look how clear. It's unbelievably clear, ridiculously clear. Cheers to you guys, and cheers to my man, Alan up in Scotland. This one is for you, dude. If you want me to, I can arrange sending one of these ciders up to you. Let me know. Ooh. Now, cider such as this, still apple juice like cider, is absolutely dangerous because it doesn't have too much body. This is the dry version, so no saccharin or whatever added to it. You could drink a litre of this, easily, not knowing how strong it was, and you would be on your arse, which is a technical term. Absolutely ridiculous. Loving this. Right, let me see if I can get a nice, look at that, absolutely crazy, a nice picture for the front of this video. I always try, I never succeed, but try again. That's what they say. That is in fact my family motto. This is the first cider I've had today. I have had 3 pints already. I was over in Ramsgate, and there's a pub there called the Hovling Boat, and if you're ever down that way, I would highly recommend you checking it out. Really nice real ale pub. They do other stuff, and weirdly enough, while I was sitting there drinking beer, they actually had these. I didn't ask how much they were, but they had bottles of these in their fridge, which they were selling to people, amongst other things. They had lots of other bottles and lots of soft drinks and that kind of stuff as well. Ring a ding a ding ding ding. Absolutely fantastic. So I better do a review. This is so smooth. It is very reminiscent, I would say, of the best of Alan's ciders, the one I really liked, which was, I think, day 3, which I actually released on day 4. It all got a bit mixed up. But if you look back, day 3 of Cider Meister's cider, it was very similar to this. No fruit, quite dry. It was a bit sparkling, if I remember. This one isn't. This one is very, very dry. Some people, I've had a look at another review of this, and wow, that's probably from the beer from earlier on. Some people said it was too watery, and I kind of know what they mean. I mean, it's just made from pure juice. I don't think they backwatered it because it's 8.5%. If you go any stronger than that, you're talking about sort of apple wine and Calvados and all that kind of wrongness. Which, why not? Apple brandy, why not indeed? But for a cider, you don't really want to be going too much over sort of 8%, in my humble opinion. I've made some turbo ciders in the past that were up over 10%, and it does get a bit crazy once you go over that. But this one is absolutely lovely and smooth. And like I say, drink this too fast or drink 2 bottles of this. And they come in litre bottles as well. So if you had a litre bottle, you easily knock back a litre. Can you imagine a litre of like 9% cider? That's like drinking, I don't know, 5 or 6 pints of just normal cider. Yeah, it's absolutely silky smooth. It has got a tiny bit of kind of sour bitterness right later on in the in the aftertaste, but overall it's like a very light apple juice. That's all I can say. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, the other thing you could do with this, I'm not going to finish this whole thing on camera because it will get absolutely messy, but I am going to drink the lot today, is you could do Applejack. Let me just put this down so I can put the top on. I don't know why, but I always like putting tops on empty bottles. Drives my other half completely bonkers, but yeah. Putting caps on bottles, what's that all about? So this, okay, I can't believe how like silky smooth and silky smooth tasting it is too. Applejack. So what people used to do back in the tradition, and Kent is, along with the West Country, cider country because of the chalk. And Normandy, of course, if you go into France, is again cider country, apple country, all kinds of fruit, including wine and vineyards. And originally, the Downs, which are the chalk cliffs that run through Kent, before the English Channel became so large and the sea levels kind of went up a little bit, the chalk downs went all the way across into Europe, and yeah, the English Channel was basically just a river channel. It was a tributary to mighty rivers such as the Thames, or I believe the Rhine as well. If you want to go and look at the prehistory of the UK and Europe, it's really interesting once you go and have a look, especially if you've had an 8.5% cider in your hand. But yes, what I was going to say, traditionally they would put cider such as this into wooden casks. And as you know, cider harvesting and cider brewing is usually, or I should say traditionally, done in the sort of winter time, so, or late autumn, so October, November, December time. And sometimes what would happen is the winter would descend and you leave a wooden cask outside. What happens in the winter time? The water in the juice or in the cider freezes, but the alcohol does not freeze. So what Applejack is, you go outside to your wooden barrel, pull the lid off, get a hammer or something, crack a little hole in the top, so the water by osmosis is sucked to the side of the barrel, and the alcohol, which is stronger because you've taken some water out, is basically, it's a core of concentrated alcohol in the center of the barrel. So you knock a hole in the top with a hammer or an axe or whatever, get your drinking horn or your jug or your vessel, dip it in, pull it out. That's where you get proper strong cider from. So we're talking, yeah, Applejacks, usually over 10%, and it really gets messy. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this 6-part foray, shall we say, into the world of cider, which I do like, and it always reminds me of my my good friend James, who's no longer around, because he used to drink cider a lot, and we used to drink together. He absolutely hammered, both on cider, or perhaps him on cider and me on something like Guinness or whatever was available. And we would set the worlds to rights. So I'm going to leave it there for today. Guys, go off and drink the alcoholic tipple of your choice. Raise a glass to Jim. And yeah, we'll see you real soon on the next one. It's going to be beer that I'm going to be drinking next. So who knows what it's going to be. Oh. Until then, cheers and ciders from Unclejona down in the Garden of England in Kent. Shalom to you all.